is down Lyvell, and today I'm about to break down how I pretty much worked on producing the beat for Eagles and Wolves. We're kind of just going into like a little bit of like all the structure of the beat, like what we did to create it, and also just kind of going into a little bit of backstory how things came about, right? This was low-key, I think, the last track we really produced for the album, right? And at this time, we needed a track that felt like it had some more bounce to it, but had like that driving factor as well as like a stadium feel to kind of just tie everything together. So at this point in time, we had probably made like a couple other tracks sort of like this, which like acted as the prototypes for what we got now, but they just weren't really hitting. So like fast forward to, I want to say sometime this summer of 2024, I know Zay, he had came to me, he had like this drum loop. So these are the drums they had right here, right? So this is the basic drum pattern he had right here with some bounce in it. So from there, then he kind of slid to me and was like, hey Don, you know, create some chops on it for me, you know, or create some melodies for it. So I mean, I was digging through for some samples and then I stumbled across a couple. Well, this one record that I had, it was a South African jazz record that I found that I'd been wanting to flip for a minute because it sounded cold as hell, right? So with this song, I made a couple different flips. So each of these flips end up being like for a different part of the song. But the main one right here, so this is one that you hear as the melody for the song right here. So now, mind you, this melody, this is basically just a couple micro chops I made in the sample that I reversed and changed the pitch for. So here's the original sample right here, right? So this is what it sounds like. Now, truth be told, when I did this, I honestly didn't even know what to do. I was just going with the flow, really, you know. And these chops really just kind of came about on their own, I guess, in a way. You know, I just really just playing around with it, going with the flow with it, you know, having fun with it. And they just came along. Like, as I was making those chops, Zay, he was like, hey, bro, that's the chop right there when I did it. So I had made a couple of micro chops, pitched it down about 2 semitones, reversed all those chops, right? Then that's where you get. And then I threw some reverb and delay on it because I just wanted to feel more atmospheric in a way, because I wanted to sound like that stadium feel, right? So that's really the main melody you hear throughout the song. And then in other parts, so there's this other part where we have a beat switch, right? So the melody switches up. So this is where rem-ii-ngton just going in, you know what I'm saying? So this might, believe it or not, this was actually the first chop I had made. At first I wanted this to be the main melody, but he was like, no, save that for a special part of the song. So I was like, you know, I went with it, and it ended up being way more potent, I feel like, with it being just that one specific part of the song and then it going throughout the whole way. So the way I kind of really did that one, same thing, pitched it down 2 semitones, but then from there I really didn't do as many micro chops. I kind of just let it loop in a way, but I did just kind of couple basic chops, I guess you could say. I let it play out more. So this is the part of the song that I pretty much used to create that beat switch that you heard rem-ii-ngton on. So as y'all can hear, this is pretty similar to what you hear in the song, really. I just messed with the pitch and then maybe just reordered some of the melodies that you hear. So then that's when you get the whole thing that you hear right here. Then we had another beat switch, so I did another chop. I know they said like I had chopped the breaths. I didn't even really realize I was chopping breaths. I just like had some more reverse chops, and then I was just like going with it with the drums, you know. And then it just kind of started sounding like this, and just I don't know, it just went hard. So hey, this is how it really sounded. Like the breaths were unintentional; they were kind of just there in the chops, but it just kind of went with everything that was going on. So then when rem-ii-ngton came in, he hit the tell the beat let it breathe, like, you know, the beat was really just breathing in your ears. So this fit perfectly. So the way I kind of did this one right here, Same thing like what I did with the original main melody. It was really just, I had made some individual micro chops, the verse going. So then you got this section right here. Now mind you, I used a lot of the same section for this whole song really. But just like I just really just chopped them, or let the length of the chops really just be different each time. So then same thing, let's pitch a little bit. Only other things we really had that added just were textures on top of that. So during part of Remington's verse, in the hook, there's like a little guitar that comes in right here, right? So this was really just a loop I had found on Splice that I had kind of chopped up and just added as a little texture. So actually two guitars, my bad. So you have this strum guitar right here. And then aside from that strum guitar, then you got this little guitar strum right here, which is a little riff actually. And that kind of just plays in the background a little bit, real subtle. So then from there, I mean, the only other thing we really added was some 808 patterns. So on parts with the drums, we had a different 808 pattern. So we had one that was more driving, I guess you could say in a way, and then we had another that was a little bit more punchy, I guess you could say in a way. So then you had. So this one was a little bit more, I guess you could say, driving. But then we have this other one right here, to where I had laid it down and it was a little more punchy. Yeah, other than that, I mean, put it all together, you know, then you have the whole beat really just right here, just going like this. I mean, aside from that, I mean, the only other texture I really say we added on top of all these was that he was kind of like, hey, let me throw some vocals on top of this. So then he recorded those ooh, ooh, like echoes that you kind of hear in the background, and then we just really made that a part of the beat, you know, that on top of the other harmonies you hear on like on the bridge part towards the end of the song. He did some more harmonies there, so all that really just ended up being a part of the beat as well. So I feel like that just gave it a whole another feel. This song, man, I did not expect it to go in this direction it did, you know? Like, it really brought the tape together fully. Like, at first I really slept on the song, but once everything came together, it honestly became one of my favorites. So, if y'all still ain't hear that mug yet, y'all ain't see the video, what are y'all doing? Go stream that shit, man. We tired, man. We working, man. So stream the music, man. Fuck! We out.